The first thing I would like to do, however, is to say a great thank you to Graeme and his whole team. I can tell you they've been fantastic throughout the whole summer. Any time of the day, any time of the night, practically, you have been able to contact them. When I did my opening address to this Congress, I had a number of bullet points that I thought could summarize what the intentions were here. I said that what we are going to discuss is it's a matter of welfare for our equine athletes and the right for them to get adequate and legitimate treatment when needed. I think there is absolutely clear from this Congress that we all have the welfare of the horses in mind. However, we also must admit that as far as really outlining the details of what that welfare means, there are slightly different opinions on either side of the Atlantic. But there is no doubt that all sides of the Atlantic and the rest of the world have the same clear goal in mind, that the welfare of the horses is really paramount to whatever we do. I think that it was Ken Allen this morning who said that already 4 years ago, the FEI started on the route that was outlined by Professor Totin on risk management. And I think that was part of the task force that I was chairing at that time. I think this is the way for us to go forward also, because it does allow us to modify the different parameters within the risk management system as we get more and more know-how, and as we get more and more information on the parameters. It's a matter of knowing both the short-term and the long-term consequences of treatment in combination with competition. It's become clear to me also that we need more research in the area of what the consequences could be. There are some short-term consequences that are absolutely clear to everyone also. That is, for instance, the ability of masking lameness. But it's equally clear also, listening to particularly to the last panel debate here, that it is no intention of anyone to use NSAIDs to mask serious lameness. There are other interests in it. It's a matter of maintaining a level playing field for all our athletes worldwide. To me, a level playing field, as it seems to be also to the riders and the chefs that were present at yesterday's panel, it simply means that all competitors must be able to get into the competitions and compete under equal circumstances and equal conditions. This also means that we have to be aware of what national legal legislation is requiring. We have to bear that in mind when we make the final political, principle, ethical decisions. It's a matter of security for our athletes to know when it is safe to go back to competition after treatment. This was also highlighted by the riders and chefs yesterday in the panel discussion, and Wayne Shannon brought it up already today also. I think this is an absolute critical piece of information for our athletes, that they do get better information and safer information on when it is clear to go back to competition after legitimate and adequate treatment of the horses. I do think that the key to this is that we continue the work that has been started to develop more information about detection times on all kinds of treatments. The more information we can make available in that field, the easier it will be for the riders to be competing within a safe margin. It's a matter of being able to act within the legislation of our member countries. There was some question about how many countries that were influenced by their national legislation. And we also heard from the Swiss authorities that they are prepared to start looking into it from a political point of view also, providing that that the FEI and this sport does not get things in the way that they feel is right. It is clearly so that the decision in Copenhagen last year was somewhat of an alarm clock for the legislative units in Europe. And there was an immediate reaction from EU legislative institutions after that decision. And we've had to be able to deal with it. As far as the takeaway from this Congress, I think Mike Gallagher summarized that pretty well. It is necessary to go home from this Congress, you as national federations representatives and you veterinarians as their advisors, to make sure that the debate from now on until the General Assembly in Taipei is kept alive, and that the information that we've been given here is really valued and taken into account of, so that the decision that's been taken at the next General Assembly is one that's founded on a good knowledge, sound knowledge, and to the best of the interest of the sport and of the horses. I think that the takeaway from this Congress to the list group, it goes without saying that in their final recommendations, they will take information from this Congress and all its discussions. So there are a number of important takeaways for both national federations and from scientists and from other specialists. I will not keep you longer here. I would like to thank you all for your contributions. It's been a great Congress, and I hope you go home feeling that you have learned a lot, that you have been able to voice your opinions, and that your opinions have been taken seriously, as I guaranteed you they are. Thank you very much for being here.